Good morning and welcome to another Financial Focus with my friend and colleague, Delta Jones Walker. I am so emotional right now because we are in the new location of AdLed Financial. Hello, Delta.
Hello, Miss Chelsea. How are you?
I am amazing right now as I look around. I so wish everybody could see all that I see. What a beautiful new facility. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Where are we?
Thank you. We are at 3801 Ridge Road in Highland, Indiana. Zip code is 46322, and this is the new digs, new location for AdLed Financial.
Yes, I see you've been posting, but getting used to my new digs. It looks like you're getting everything moved in and situated. But before we jump into today's very pertinent and relevant discussion, go ahead with that good old disclosure.
Okay, the disclosure states that securities and advisory services offered through Woodbury Financial Services, Inc., member of FINRA, as well as Civic Insurance Group, offered through AdLed Financial at 3801 Ridge Road, Highland, Indiana, 46322, Highland, Indiana, which is not affiliated with Woodbury Financial. See, I still got that Cherville.
Yeah, you still got the Cherville. Cherville is in your rear view mirror. And so how has it been? You moved in like a month ago?
I moved in officially a month ago. However, we were bringing things over since the end of May.
Okay.
Yeah, since the end of May.
Well, I know that we're not going to do a grand opening till later in the fall, but I will say location is everything.
Location.
Yes, you have an amazing location.
Thank you,
and
Chelsea.
It's just vibrant over here. I'm so excited. And with that, as we talk about this financial focus for today, we agreed that it would be very advantageous and apropos to talk about your latest article that's coming out next week about budgeting for a move.
Yes.
You know, with the pandemic, a lot of businesses were born, right?
Yes.
And a lot of businesses started to grow as people started to pivot. And then as we are trying to come out of this era, I noticed that people are, well, maybe I need a brick and mortar, or I need more space now that my idea has grown. And you have gone or are going through that process. So
I am.
You share your key learnings in your latest article about getting your budget together for a move. You always talk to us about budgeting, but for a move,
it's a process.
Yes.
And first and foremost, I share with everyone, the listening audience especially, that you need to have a plan. You need to know your plan. And this is not a process that you can up and do.
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend that either if you are doing this yourself, you probably want to do some research on how a general contractor does it, or how does a project manager does it. Because of the fact it is a process,
mm-hmm.
and you have to make sure that you have all of your bullet points in place in order to have a very smooth transition. And the first thing, like you mentioned, the budget piece. The budget piece is so apparent and so important because of the fact you want to make sure that you have sufficient dollars to handle the transaction. Not only do you want to have sufficient dollars, you want to have dollars when you are not doing what you normally do to generate income
mm-hmm.
for the business, because of the fact you are using your time, you're moving, and so you don't have the ability to wear both hats
mm-hmm.
and wear them proficiently.
That's
the best recommendation that I could give.
Mm-hmm.
I would share with you that whatever your monthly expenditures are, you need to have that probably times 3.
Times 3? Okay.
Or times 4.
Okay.
If you are looking to rent with another dwelling, you just make sure that you have the sufficient dollars to, after you pay your rent and your first month's security deposit, that you still have whatever that rent amount would be, as well as you reach out to your NetSco or your electric company, your phone company, your water company, to see what the average bills were for the location that you are now residing in. And you're doing that so you have ample dollars to support you while you are getting your practice up and running. You want to make sure that if you have a staff person, that you have their dollars also added into your monthly budget. So there are a few things that I think that I call them, just like you have non-discretionary bills that are still going to come regardless of your situation.
Right.
You have them as well with your place of business.
Yeah.
So you just want to equate all of that into your monthly equation so you'll know how much you need to have. And the recommendation, listening audience, is 3 to 4 months.
Okay, 3 to 4 months, because in my mind, I'm thinking years. You know, only because we jump out, sometimes we jump out on faith, and then we don't account for the lean times.
Yes.
You know, and it's like, I at least want to be able to say I can pay my rent for 2021 or for a year or something. What do you think about that?
Well, first and foremost, I would ask that you look at how your business is running.
Okay.
If it is conducive within your budget to go from renting to purchasing, I would recommend it. Okay. If you see that your business is just a hobby and you're only going to do it for another 2 to 3 years, and then you're going to jump ship and do something else, or you're just not going to do it anymore, you're going to retire totally, then as a result, I wouldn't recommend it unless you see that you're in an area that is up and growing and you know that you can get some real estate
Flip it.
and you can flip it.
Okay.
You also want to look at what you're spending for rent versus what you will spend for ownership. When you're going out to purchase a commercial dwellings are a little different than purchasing an individual home, because commercial dwellings, they want you to have anywhere from 20 to 30% down for the dwelling that you're purchasing as your down payment.
Okay.
If you're looking to get financing, you want to start getting, if your lease is up, the best example I could give you is if your lease is up in 18 months,
Okay.
and you know this is not the place that you want to reside, and you know that this is your next stepping stone, you would like to be the owner, then you need to start getting your ducks in a row. Make sure your financials are properly prepared. Start interviewing with banks. I don't know if you want to reach out to the SBA, but it is a process. And listening audience, if you have any questions and concerns, sharing is caring. That's how I started this conversation off this morning with Chelsea. And I will share the information. You can reach out and call Atlet at 219-513-3710 and say, Delta, I need to have a business consultation. Can you assist me in this process? And I'll share with you the steps that I've gone.
I love that about you, and a lot of the mentors in my life who are business owners that are free with the information, and if there was a misstep in their past, to say, here, avoid this pitfall. Some of the other things that you really detail out in the article are like those incidentals, things like moving into a new space and getting the phone lines installed, internet, signage, the ordinances in different cities and towns vary. Talk a little bit about that.
We're in the pandemic still.
Okay.
People are not working. You see signs all over the place stating hire, pay daily. Well, that's just like services and vendors. So the Comcast and the ADTs and the network vendors, they're short-staffed because people are not coming to work. So things that you could get done in 7 days is now taking 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And when they do come out, they may be late. They may be short-staffed.
Or they may cancel on you. I had a vendor cancel on me the other day.
Or they may cancel on you. Or when they do come out, they'll let you know we can only do half the job. And you're looking like, half the job? What?
We gotta start doing that.
We can start doing that. And so now you're in a tizzy because of the fact you have deadlines that you have to meet. Now you have to improvise, and now you have to go other routes because of the fact your systems are not in place to the magnitude for you to do what you are most comfortable doing.
So how'd you do it, Delta? You're moving in a pandemic. I'm looking around like, yeah.
Well, first of all, I followed my system.
Okay.
I had a to-do list, and I went step by step. Now, there's been a few quirks because I'm just accustomed to the town ordinances from where I came.
Okay.
The town ordinances from where I stand now, they are a little different.
Okay.
So it's a process, and so I would recommend the moment that you relocate into another township or community, that you reach out to their city to determine, I always say building in parts, to determine what are the things that I can and cannot do. How do I go about regarding a business? Who is there listing that you have that these are the only vendors that can be used in your city? What's the process?
Right.
And I say that because I didn't do that. And because I didn't do that, I had to take 2 steps back to go back to the 2 steps that I had already taken.
Gotcha.
And you don't want to get yourself caught in, some people might say, oh, that's nothing. It's something. Because if they recommend something and you go around them and you get it done by another vendor, they will tell you to tear that down.
Oh.
So that is work. Because
and money lost.
And now you got to pay that money again, and it's time. There's so many different variables, and so that's why I say all the time, the most important thing that I can recommend is your new location. Okay, you see the town. Okay, go visit the town hall and say, hi, I'm a new business owner in your area. Who do I need to talk with? I want to make sure that I'm doing things decent and in order based on the criteria for your town.
That's amazing information. If you're just tuning in, I'm here with Delta Jones Walker at the new location of Ad-Led Financial, located in the town of Highland, right here on Ridge Road. I mean, the ambiance and the surroundings are just so serene. Great restaurants, shopping. And what did your family say about the move?
They're just overjoyed.
Yes.
And they say all the time, my daughter and my son say, Mom, this is a blessing. We see the Lord doing his job.
Amen.
My husband, he's just like, this is God's will.
Yes.
Everything happens on God's time. And this right here, Delta, was your time.
Amen.
Okay.
So if you again are interested in getting a business or personal financial complimentary consultation with Delta, you can certainly reach out and give that number 219-513-3710
or 1-800-631-4866.
Oh, so again, you are licensed in multiple places, and I know we're still going through the pandemic and everything. So are you doing your Zoom, and what are other ways that you working with customers?
I'm working with customers via Zoom. We're also doing the teleconferences. We're also on Google as well. So there are an array of ways that we are still doing our job, as well as face-to-face appointments.
Okay.
And I'm still distancing the face-to-face appointments, so it's not like we're having 5 or 6 appointments in the office in one given day. The max that we're doing in the office on a given day would be 3.
And speaking of the office, I have taken a tour, and I have pointed out my area where I will be working when I come to visit. It's so spacious, so we're able to spread out and get our work done. But in all seriousness, Delta, I appreciate the fact that you are so giving and willing to share information to help people make those, or not even the shortcuts, but just avoid any shortfalls that, you know, by talking to a financial advisor can help them get further along the way in less amount of time.
Less amount of time, as well as the first thing that you said, avoiding the shortfalls. Because this is, I guess you could say, unfamiliar territory for a lot of people. They have a skill set, but as far as putting the business out there, they don't know how to do it. And with all the loans and the monies that are available, one of the key questions that they ask is, do you have a brick and mortar? Do you have a telephone number that is not your cell phone?
A landline.
A business line.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Do you have a address, not a P.O. box? We're looking for a physical address. And so that kind of throws people to think, okay, well, I don't have that. They're asking for it. If I go get it, they're going to tell me I have to start at the back of the line, and that is not correct. But again, you need some tutelage because, you know, sometimes you get a little down and discouraged. You need someone to help you pick yourself up on your bootstraps and keep it moving. So what they ask you that, you say, okay, I'll have that information for you. Okay, I got that information. What's next? What's the process? When can I get a loan from you if that is your desire? Because I'm looking to prepare myself to buy a dwelling. I need to make sure I have my pre-approvals in place. And that's how you have to look at it. And at all times, be confident in your conversation. Confidence is 99% of us getting to the next level in our performance and with our job structures.
I love it. So you are motivating me. I don't know what the future holds per se for my business, but to just have people in my circle of mentors doing what they do lets me know that it is indeed possible, and that I will have the tutelage, as you say, and the guidance to get it done. So everybody, we are here at 3801 Ridge Road with the Delta Jones Walker financial advisor, colleague, and friend. And I can't wait for your article to come out. It's going to be in the Gary and Chicago Crusaders, next edition, next Friday. Make sure you pick it up. Lots of great tidbits and advice when you are building your budget for a business move. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I look forward to the grand opening later this year when we invite people in and we'll go live. But right now, it's a big old secret.
Yes, it is. Until we're able to share, it's a big old secret. But financial stability and sustainability is not. It's a necessary aspect that you are working so hard to ensure that we protect ourselves financially. Delta, I thank you. Thank you very much for having me and tuning with the listening audience to share this information on a monthly basis. And, you know, if there's any questions or concerns that you all may have, please feel free. We have our Facebook, we have our LinkedIn, we have Twitter. We also have a website. You know, you can reach us at any time at 219-513-3710, or you can hit that 1-800-481-4866 toll-free number. We're here to serve. Thank you very much, Chelsea, for having us.
All right, everybody. Until next time, stay financially focused.